All right, let's go live. So my name is Brett Johnson. This is Cybercrime 101, a special episode, and having a tasty beverage as we do this special episode. Nightmare Eclipse. Man, if you're not watching, you will be watching on repeat. I can promise you that. Not sure what time it is in Germany. Oh, he does know. Oh my, that Johnson guy does know the guy's real name. Oh, it's a bad day for you, man. It's a bad day for you. I got to pull up a couple of things before we get started on you. So my name is Brett Johnson. For those who, I'm not sure who doesn't know me, but for those who may not, I'm a former United States most wanted cybercriminal. 39 felonies, placed on the United States most wanted list, and escape from prison. And if that weren't enough, I also built and ran the first organized cybercrime community called Shadow Crew. It's a precursor of today's darknet and darknet markets. It lays the foundation for the way modern cybercrime channels operate today. Now, usually the story ends there. Usually, the bad guy, me, he gets out of prison. He usually goes right back and he does it again. He gets caught and that's the story. In and out of prison to die the bad guy, to die the guy who always victimized other people, who chose a life of putting himself first instead of others. I am very blessed. I was given the opportunity. Actually, I was given the opportunity many times to change my life, to turn things around. Finally, I took it. Today, I am well respected in cybersecurity, fraud prevention, law enforcement communities. Well respected. People trust me, and trust matters. That's something that Nightmare Eclipse really doesn't understand. He didn't understand when he was an employee at Microsoft. He didn't understand that while he was an employee at Microsoft and, working both sides of the equation, the bad guy and the good guy side, he didn't understand then that trust matters. He didn't understand when supposedly, to hear him tell it, and you have to take what he says with a grain of salt because this fellow is a known liar. This fellow doesn't understand that what matters more than anything in this world is trust. And to quote the Under Armour CEO, trust is gained in droplets, but it's lost in buckets. If you own a company, it takes time to establish trust with your customers, with your potential customers, to gain a name. And when you're breached, that trust is lost quickly. And it's much harder to ever, if you're ever able, to regain it again. Trust matters. Trust matters on the criminal side. As a bad guy, you have to trust your criminal peers. You have to work together to be able to succeed. Not only that, but you have to, if you're going to victimize a company or an individual, in order to be successful with that, you have to gain that potential victim's trust. If they don't trust you, they are not going to give you what you're looking for: information, access, data, cash. That's not going to happen. Trust matters. I know that probably better than anyone. I built the trust mechanism that criminals use in financial cybercrime marketplaces and forums today. I built that. But I also was able to turn my life around. I had a lot of help through law enforcement, through the cybersecurity community, through the fraud prevention community. I had a lot of help, a lot of people that believed in me, that put their careers on the line, not knowing for sure if they could trust me or not, but they took a chance. And today, I have a name. Yeah, I have a name on the bad side, but I have a name on the good side too. I have a name. I'm trusted. People know that when I say something, I follow through with it. That I don't just do things in my own best interest. I do things because it's the right damn thing to do. Nightmare Eclipse never got that memo. He never got that memo. Maybe they don't teach that lesson in Germany. I don't know. I do know that what he says is questionable at best. He says that he submitted an exploit to Microsoft. He says that Microsoft then patched the exploit and then informed him that they could not repeat the exploit, and therefore they were not going to pay him. And he's used that as an excuse to then go and release these exploits in the wild. Now, the problem with that, first of all, if you're Microsoft, again, I don't really believe Nightmare Eclipse after I found out even more about him through the day. I don't really believe the guy. But Microsoft, it's important for bug bounty hunters that are out there that they are able to trust the company or the platform that they are submitting the exploits to, that they are able to trust that that company will in turn pay the bounty hunter, the bug bounty guy, the reward. Trust matters. In return, the company needs to be able to trust that that bug bounty hunter, that bug bounty hunter can then or will then not release any exploits or sell any exploits to would-be attackers. That matters. Trust matters. As an industry for bug bounty hunters out there, they're going through a tough time right now. And here's why. So Nightmare Eclipse chooses to say Microsoft did this. And then he chooses to start releasing exploits just willy-nilly. Now, I've been on the criminal side. I know how this works. I understand the mindset probably better than anyone else on the planet. I really do. And I can tell you that most attackers are not computer geniuses. They're not. But I can tell you, too, that most attackers are very innovative. And most attackers, skilled ones, the experienced ones, they pay attention. They do their research, and they look for anything that pops up that might be of interest and therefore profitable, like an exploit. Let's look back at Equifax. So what happens? Equifax was okay until that Apache update was announced. And then, Equifax, they did not apply the update in a timely manner. They sat on it. And within 24 hours of that update being announced, Equifax had been breached because criminals, they scan the environment for any exploit that's announced, and then they scan the threat landscape that's out there to find potential victims that have not protected themselves yet against that exploit. So what Nightmare Eclipse has done is he has endangered, he's not only harmed Microsoft, but he's put a lot of people as potential victims. But that's not the only thing either. Nightmare Eclipse is also really intent, evidently, on spoiling the well or poisoning the well of any bug bounty hunter out there. Because this is a big thing that's going on. This is a big news story. And now you've got companies that have to worry, well, what happens if one of these bounty hunters, they're a little upset? What happens if, they don't think they've been paid enough? What happens if, the exploit that they submit, it really wasn't what they said it was, and we don't pay them? Are they going to repeat what Nightmare Eclipse has done and then start releasing things into the wild out of anger? So it damages the entire industry. The interesting thing, I'm not quite sure if Nightmare Eclipse would be doing this if he were doing it under his own name. I mean, he did it under his own name when he was an employee at Microsoft. He did that. He did that. Let's see what the comments are saying. Lisa Neely, good to see you. Cody Dixon, good to see you. These people in the comment section, these are my peeps from Eastern Kentucky from the Brett Johnson Show. They're seeing another side of me on Cybercrime101 tonight, as I am intent. So Nightmare, or Mr. Nasseri, I am intent on absolutely destroying your life. I want you to know that. And I'm going to make sure that it happens. I promise you that. I will work until the stars burn out to make sure that you, as a bug bounty hunter, as a security researcher, even as a bad guy, when you were working at Microsoft and trying to sell stuff to the Russians and got fired because of it, I'm going to make sure that your name is a pariah across cybersecurity and cybercrime on both sides of the fence. I'm going to make sure that your family, if you've got any, looks at you really funny during the holidays. I'm going to single-handedly destroy you, is what I'm going to do. And I want you to know that. Tonight's a short video as we share, as we share a screen of my LinkedIn page of a certain individual that's a security researcher in the North Rhine-Westphalia area of Germany. I've been there. It's interesting that Germany, I guess they paused the investigations against you. I guess that they are, I'm disappointed in Germany. Got to be honest with you, I'm disappointed in Germany. I noticed that you're a little bit in the shadows as well. Northern Lights and all that. Well, I can only hope that one day you end up in prison, but regardless of whether you do or not, welcome to the court of public opinion. Welcome to the court of you are done in this industry. That's what I would say to you. And there you are. There you are. And there's a nice little picture of you in the shadows again. And that's you, isn't it? That is you right there. And it's interesting. And I'm just going to, this is going to be a very short episode today because I've got an article to write about you. I've got several articles to write about you. I'm going to make it a daily chore, a hobby of mine. Make it it's going to become, they say that if you do something for 2 weeks, it becomes a habit. You keep doing it, it becomes, a routine, a behavior. It becomes part of you. I'm going to probably daily post something new about you. I'm going to make sure that everyone on the planet, everyone that's in cybersecurity, cybercrime, law enforcement, I'm going to make sure that everyone knows exactly who you are. I'm going to make sure that the entire bug bounty industry knows the harm that you, sir, are trying to cause them. That's what I'm going to do. And I am not going to stop. Anyone that wants to share any information with me regarding this individual, by all means, please do so. I will make sure you are anonymous and will stay anonymous. I'll break down how you were found out. What's interesting is, I love Brian Krebs. Brian Krebs. He, when I turned my life around, I guess Carice Hendrick met him at a conference, and she asked him about me. What do you think of Brett Johnson? And this was like the first year. This was the first year that I had came over to the good guy side. And Krebs was honest. I guess he didn't like me. I guess he thought, well, he's probably going to go back to crime if he's even quit committing crime already. But I would hope that Mr. Krebs, and I have a profound respect for Brian Krebs, I would hope that Mr. Krebs over the years has realized that, as odd as it may be, as weird and bizarre as that may be, I am the guy that doesn't commit crime anymore. And I'm the guy that finds SOBs like Mr. Nasseri and outs them. But I honestly think that Mr. Krebs absolutely knows who Nightmare Eclipse is. I mean, he says he wrote an article. He says in the article, one reason that Microsoft might be issuing such harshly worded language here to describe the researcher may be that, according to Nightmare Eclipse, they until recently worked together. He worked there as a security researcher at Microsoft. And he gives a whole breakdown of that. He says, scroll back far enough through Exiterus account to June 2020, and you will see they claimed CVE 2019 1385 was theirs. On July 1st, 2021, Nightmare Eclipse complained that Microsoft failed to fix one of the weaknesses they reported in CVE 224084. Microsoft credits both of these flaws to the same researcher, whose LinkedIn account says they are in Germany and worked full-time at Microsoft from September 22 to June 2025. For the record, I think that at Gossie the dog called it that this person was a former Microsoft employee, and he gives credit to Chuck Darwin. Yeah, Chuck Darwin. So it's not as if I am, I'm not going to take credit for this. I'm not. Brian Krebs is an extraordinary journalist, reporter, human being, and obviously he has pounded the pavement and knew the answer long before I'm telling this guy's name this evening. So this is the guy. This is the guy that has not only screwed over Microsoft in the past, but is now trying to screw over Microsoft currently. This is the guy that not only in the past was absolutely a bad guy trying to sell exploits that he had, came across while working at Microsoft to the Russians, but also today still embracing that criminal mindset, behavior, mentality. This guy, Mr. Nasseri, this is a guy that was investigated in Germany, and they paused the investigation. And obviously they will not extradite the dude to America because I guess they just don't want to do that. So this is the guy. This is the guy. And Mr. Nasseri, like I said, this is a short video tonight, very short. I just wanted to out your name, get you on the radar of some people. I'm going to be writing an article tonight, a write-up tonight, and in the morning, it'll be released tomorrow, that walks through a lot of this. The people who want credit, who have informed me of what's going on. If you want credit, I am not the guy that takes credit for work that I did not do. So if someone wants to remain anonymous, I am more than happy to make sure they remain anonymous. Anyone that wants to tell me anything about this SOB, that's a criminal, absolutely a criminal. Anyone that wants to tell me anything about that, if you want your name out there, I will be more than happy to give you proper credit. If you don't, you will remain anonymous. Regardless, as far as I'm concerned, this guy is number one on my target list. And my target list is something that, by and large, has never failed. And it will not fail this time either. I do not like, I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Nasseri. I say this on the Brett Johnson show frequently. You cannot be, and I don't want to bring religion into it, but I was told once upon a time that you cannot be a servant of God and a servant of Satan at the same time. You are one or the other. Let's break that down to more common terms. You cannot be a criminal and a good guy at the same time, yet you have tried to be. But you've not really been. You've been a criminal the entire time. You've been a bad guy the entire time. You've only kind of moonlighted as a good guy in order to probably get enough information to continue your profitable career as a bad guy. That's what you've done. So I know that when Microsoft fired you before for cause, I know when that happened, that you blamed Microsoft, that you got mad at them. You know, they destroyed your life. That type of mentality. Let me be honest with you. Microsoft did not destroy your life. Your choices supposedly destroyed your life back then. Your choices did that. Microsoft didn't do that. Microsoft did the right damn thing in getting rid of you. Your choices now have resulted in what's happening now. It's not that someone's being mean to poor Mr. Nasseri. It's that your choices have ended up where we are this evening. And your choices are going to bury you, at least your career, your name. My hope is that you are charged or extradited out of Germany. My hope is that you serve significant prison time. If that does not happen, then my hope is that you absolutely are unable to get a job in a tech field anywhere, because you, sir, are the type of individual that gives former criminals like myself that actually try to turn their lives around, you give us a bad name. You make things harder for us. Not to mention all the potential victims that you want to create by releasing those exploits or selling those exploits, and not to mention the bug bounty industry that you are so intent on causing harm to. So, that is where we stand. That is what is going on. Yeah. And that, Mr. Nasseri, is your ass. You can read the write-up tomorrow. Sunday, I'll do another write-up or video. Monday, the same. Tuesday, the same. They're not going to forget about you anytime soon. And while I'm at it, I will also be, because I'm somewhat respected among criminal groups to this day, I will also be sharing this information among them so that they know who you are, your real name, all that stuff. Come to find out that usually they don't like working with people, that have been exposed. So I understand that you were evidently, supposedly, somewhat of a genius when it comes to security research. I wish that you had applied that genius to making things better, not to making things worse, but you chose not to. I would hope that as this stuff falls apart for you, and it will, I would hope that you reconsider your place in the spectrum of things. And I would hope that you accept responsibility and accountability and realize that the only person that got you to this point is you. No one else, just you. Be accountable, be responsible, understand that the reason that you are where you are now is only because of you, and then choose to do the right damn thing. Choose to be a better person than you have been for years. I'm Brett Johnson. This is Cybercrime 101. Special episode. Short one. Cybercrime 101, from this point on, will be broadcasting Monday, Wednesday, Friday at midnight Eastern Time. It will be broadcasting Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It is a live show. It is a show that is built primarily for consumers, business owners, so that we can talk about cybercrime, scams, security, and protect you or your business from that type of attacker that I used to be, and from that type of degenerate that Mr. Nasseri currently is. We believe in doing the right damn thing, and we do the right damn thing because, not for personal gain, not to profit. We do the right damn thing because it is the right thing to do. And that's it. My name is Brett Johnson. This is Cybercrime 101. I'll talk to you later. Take care.